deflection, but it landed at the feet of Gudjonsson, who has scored in back-to-back games for Blackburn. He got his second just past the hour mark. Brilliant work from Ryan Elbiusu on the right side on the byline, pulling it back to Gudjonsson. A clinical finish to give Blackburn their second goal and what proved to be a winner. Big turning point was a huge chance for Steffi Mavididi early in the second half, but for a world-class save by Balaza Toth, we may have been having a different story here at King Power Stadium. But the final score is Leicester City 0, Blackburn Rovers 2.
Thank you very much, John. Matt Elliott has been on co-commentary duty. Matt, we're just seeing the Blackburn players and manager obviously delighted with their performance there, getting that win. Leicester, though, on the other hand, will be really disappointed with what they've produced this afternoon.
Well, very much so, yeah. I mean, that's a little bit of an understatement, I suppose, Dan, isn't it, unfortunately? But I think first of all, and you did it, give testament to Blackburn. I thought they were exceptional today. How they are, where they are in the league before today's kick-off is not bemusing, really. But is that because Leicester were so far off it that they made Blackburn look better than they actually are? But perhaps an element of that. But they were up for the fight. They were energetic, strong, physical, worked hard, well organised, and quite a bit of ability scattered throughout the team as well. So that's a tough proposition. But Leicester were. You can probably hear the effects of this performance and this result here from the supporters, the majority of supporters that have actually stayed behind. Quite the vast majority have left. The players going around sort of trying to muster some feeling of positivity by applauding the supporters that are here. But it's a tough day, wasn't it, Dan? You've got to be honest. It's a tough day at the office for the Foxes.
Yeah, absolutely. Jerry Taggart and David Nugent are alongside me, Dan Bakes, here in the studio. As we can see, Matt on the screen. Hello to you, Matt. We'll be talking to you shortly. That's been quite a tough afternoon, hasn't it, to watch? Obviously, off the back of the Hull and the Millwall defeats, we really thought today was a good opportunity at home to Blackburn Nuge. It just wasn't to be.
Yeah, everyone thinks that just because Blackburn are not doing so great in the league, but it just shows you the Championship. When a relegation threatened team comes to the King Power, it's not always an easy task. You know, we should have done better. We should have played better. Felt like there was no urgency in the team. The way we press, the way we go forward. You know, it's very slow build-up play, and that has to change to get the results. You know, the fans are showing what they think of the team's performance after, but they just got to pick themselves up. They just need a win, you know, to try and get on that. You know, get that winning mentality back again at the start of the season. But at the moment, you know, 3 losses on the bounce, it's not good enough for a team of Leicester City.
Yeah, I think, you know, that sort of sums it up. Three losses on the bounce in the Championship for Leicester City. I think there's a bit of soul searching needs to go on. Not just in the dressing room after the game, but all weekend and in the build-up to Tuesday night. And I think, you know, I was trying to defend the team somewhat against Millwall last week. The second half against Hull on the Tuesday before that. But, I mean, it's pretty difficult. And I don't like criticising, but, I mean, it's pretty difficult to defend the team. You know, there was the big moment in the game was for Leicester was a Steffi Mavididi chance. If that goal goes in, or if that strike beats the keeper, it goes in the back of the net, do we see a different type of Leicester City throughout that second half? Because it's still at 1-0. And then obviously they go up, score the second, and the heads just completely drop. And confidence completely drains out of the players. Leadership. Whatever it takes to win a game of football, it just wasn't there today.
It's like there was no energy. Like it just sat, you know, when they got the second goal to go 2-0, it just sapped the energy out of all the lads. You could see, like, you know, nobody wanted to get on the ball. You know, we were forcing things again, I thought. You know, so yeah, just all round disappointing performance. You know, everyone's coming to the stadiums like expecting Leicester to be dominant, you know, trying.
I didn't see it happening.
No.
I didn't see this happening today.
Neither did I, to be honest. I thought Blackburn at home, what a chance to get back on track. 3 points and then kick on from here. But it just shows, like, if you don't go into a game with the right mentality of, you know, working hard and showing how much you want it on the pitch, then you get punished for it.
Yeah, it was a big chance, Matt, wasn't it? That's been alluded to by these guys for Steffi Mavididi there. 10 minutes or so into the second half. Again, could be a completely different game. Should that go in? How did you see that? The keeper's done unbelievably well, hasn't he? But at the same time, it should have been 1-1.
I haven't seen a replay, but on first glance, you expect him. I said in the commentary, like 19 times out of 20, you got to score from that position. The keeper's done ridiculously well, from my understanding of it. Has he just spread himself, or is it an actual sort of reaction save? I wasn't quite sure. It was a bit sort of Schmeichel-like, wasn't it? I think the way he's just sort of taken a bit of a gamble and tried to get something on it. I don't think Mavididi, again, on first glance, has done too much wrong. Having said that, should he finish it? Yes. You shouldn't give the keeper in that situation any iota of an opportunity to make the block. But indicative of how things went today, really, and have been going of late. Mavididi had one of those afternoons, didn't he? He had a couple of chances in the first half. One that, yeah, you could say it was a good block from Blackburn's point of view, but he should have done better with the finish. And then I think it was a subsequent corner, wasn't it? That he was offside, somewhat unnecessarily, and we never know what might have happened directly from the header from Vestergaard. Then he had another chance that you highlighted at half-time. He snatched at it a bit. You know, and things haven't gone well for him lately, and they didn't do today. But that's an example. You know, Jerry was talking about it there, a bit of soul searching. And you know, they've got to be strong. They've got to be strong mentally. They can't be too damaged by recent events, in particular today, because that will hurt them. That will hurt them, because they'll be questioning themselves, thinking, "Oh, are we as good as we thought we are?" And you know, obviously not on today's performance. And that's a dangerous thing, to think you are one of the better sides. You've got to have a strong character, and you know, a lot of belief and a lot of confidence to go and back that up. And Leicester don't possess that right now. I think there's many areas to look at, you know, in terms of how they go about their attacking play as well. But one thing, and I think Jerry will agree with me, Nuge will pretend to, but he won't know what I'm on about. But
Something to do with defending.
no, but no, only jesting, Nuge, only jesting. But the amount of times Leicester played it forward, either through midfield, long, whatever, it went out wide, it got turned over, and the defensive unit, in particular the centre halves, are just standing in their own space waiting for it. Blackburn players, the two up top, were an absolute handful. Johnson and Ohashi. They were on the move all the time, even when they weren't in possession. They were looking to get in spaces and pick up the ball as and when it came to them. And they got on. They picked up the second phase right across the pitch in defensive situations as well. But that's a big area of concern, I thought, because even early on in the first half, Leicester was scrambling defensively. They were so open, and that gave Blackburn confidence to go and build themselves into the game and eventually take over and at parts dominate the game and ultimately win it. And there's a lot of things wrong at the moment, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think what Matt's saying is Leicester expect to control the possession, control the flow of the game. And then when that doesn't happen and it breaks down, you've got players who are still stood in a position to receive the ball and not stop a counter-attack at source. And like you say, when you've got two forwards who are always on the move, dropping into that number 10 role to receive the ball, because they're thinking, right, we're going to win the ball back. I need to find a position where I can get the ball and get turned and get going at Leicester's defence. And the defence are still 10, 15 yards deeper than what they should be, because they're thinking, if Ricky gets the ball and he hasn't got a forward pass, I'm going to be here to give him an option to receive the ball. when really what they should be thinking is, right, the ball's gone into the final third or the edges of the final third. If it breaks down, if and when it breaks down, I need to be aware of that. And if they go and try and play Good Johnson or Saki, then I'm there to be on the front foot and win the ball back quickly for Leicester, and then we go again. And that. Well, it's not the first time I've spoke about it, but obviously Matt's seen it on numerous occasions today.
That happened about 15 times today in the game, where we going forward, they countered, and their centre off or centre forward turned every single time the ball got headed clear by their team to turn and attack ours. It was 2v2 every time, 2 centre offs, 2 strikers, our 2 fullbacks really high, we'll lose the ball and we leave it 2v2 every time. So expansive, but obviously didn't work today.
Matt, Jerry here. Happy birthday, by the way, mate.
Thank you, sir. Very nice. How many? That takes me another year older than you again, doesn't it now?
Just 1
62.
year, 11 months.
Yeah. No, I was
days
yesterday. I was only 1 year older than you. That was it.
14 days.
Unfortunately, today I'm 2 years older than you.
Matt,
Yes.
what's your opinion on the chance, on Mavadidi's chance? If that goes in, do you think Leicester go on and win the game, or do you think Blackburn hang on or still go on and win it?
It would have had a huge bearing, a huge impact, wouldn't it? You'd like to think so, put it that way. But I mean, I just mentioned there, I have only seen it the once, so I wouldn't be able to say.
The keeper does unbelievably well.
That's what it looked like to me.
His big toe.
Yeah, it looked it. He just spread himself, didn't he? He made his own luck. But if you're talking about what do I think would have happened if they'd scored, I think it would have made a huge difference. In fairness, even though there was. It sounds strange to say it. There was quite a gulf in the difference of performances today between Blackburn and Leicester, and not in a positive way in whatsoever. I was hugely surprised by how good Blackburn were, to be fair. They came at it, they looked excellently organised, all like a very rounded team. Would they have capitulated? I don't see that with them, because they're quite solid characters throughout the heart of the team. But it would have rejuvenated the crowd big time.
I think it's the old adage, isn't it? Goals change games.
Yeah.
And obviously Leicester have been lacking in that front of, recently. And I'm just thinking, it just goes to show that when your team isn't scoring on a regular basis, and you're getting these final third entries on numerous occasions, putting crosses in the box, playing your little through balls for the midfielders to run on to, and nothing comes of it, that eventually, mentally, you just run out of ideas, you run out of confidence, and then when you see the opposition go up the other end and score 2-0, it just literally drains the life out of you.
I thought. Am I on here?
Yeah.
Am I there? Yeah. I thought Leicester, and again, it sounds bad to say, I thought Leicester ran out of ideas after about 20 minutes. That's probably off the back of other recent performances and results. Started off bright enough, 10 minutes, didn't they? As you mentioned.
Well, you mentioned the 2 chances, which was after about 10, 15 minutes, wasn't it, for Steffi? Yeah.
No, there were opportunities, but.
But when they don't go in, or one's offside.
Exactly. Yeah. The second, they were both similar, weren't they? Because it was Ricardo joining in, wasn't it? A couple of sort of cutbacks, really, and but they were few and far between, really. It was all predominantly, again, as you mentioned, predominantly down that right-hand side. Ricardo and Fataru and sometimes James linking up. So there's potential there. There wasn't too much down the left-hand side, was there, at all, and nothing really surging from central positions. But going back to your question there, I think the crowd would have really played their part in turning the game on its head for a short period at least. I think the surprise and the relief that Leicester got back into the game when they probably didn't look like it, if they had, well, obviously we're talking theoretically, I think that would have had an impact on the game for 10-15 minutes. If Blackburn withstood it, then it would have been anyone's game, I think.
Yeah, I think that you would have sensed that, Nuge, wouldn't you, in the ground, and Leicester then would have had the momentum. Obviously, they didn't. The ball doesn't go in, so they then have to almost regroup and go again, don't they? And I'm just racking my brain, really. There were a few half moments, weren't there? A couple of crosses in that were decent balls, but then there wasn't really a Leicester player on the end of it.
Just no end product, is there? Like we keep saying, the ball goes into the box, we creating these chances, but we just can't seem to put the ball in the back of the net. You know, that's an unbelievable save by the goalkeeper. Like, unbelievable. With his foot, you know, he's come out, stretched his whole body, hand and feet come out. You know, Steffi's just thinking he's ready to celebrate, isn't he? You know, all he's got to do is hit the target and he should score, but the keeper comes out with, you know, spraying hands and feet. Unbelievable save. But I think that goes in, and where Blackburn are in the table, I reckon they would have just sat back after that. If we would have equalised, sat back, we would have come on to them even more, I think, and potentially got the 3 points. But when you don't take your chances, and then they go down to the end and score and make it 2-0, you know, that's the game for you, isn't it?
You know,
we don't score.
We always, well, you hear me talk about it's the little things that make the biggest difference. And that was, the little thing was the keeper's big toe that made the difference. On another day, that ball flies in the back of the net. And really and truly, you know, I'm sat next to someone who scored many, many goals over many, many seasons. You'd love to find yourself in that position.
Well, it's perfect, isn't it? Right in your box.
Apart from the keeper not being there, that is probably the second best position a striker would want to be in. Middle of the goal, no one near him, and a clean shot and goal from 5-6 yards, whatever it was. And still, it doesn't go in. It's incredible.
Yeah, huge game now on Tuesday. News against one of your old teams. Another one of your old teams, Middlesbrough. Massive game again now, isn't it? They're all going to be big, I think, from now on. I know it's still early in the season, but that's massive just with the context of now what's happened in the last few games. Yeah,
you know, Borough flying high as well. You know, they're top 2 at the minute. You know, I won't put past Leicester to turn up and put a performance on, you know, against Middlesbrough. You know, they need it for definite, get back on track, but, you know, they don't get much tougher, you know, against Middlesbrough. And obviously Norwich following weekend as well, isn't it? Yeah. Who were struggling like Blackburn, but yeah, it's hard. You know, the only thing with the Championship, it's good, like a game comes around the corner really fast on it. You know, we've got Tuesday now, then Saturday again, so we got not much time to think about, to dwell on the game, the result. Just go back and straight off, probably off Sunday and Monday, game Tuesday. Get your heads back on it and go and try and do a positive performance. Take your chances.
Yeah, big one, Matt, isn't it? Tuesday.
Yeah, every game always is, but even more so. When the situation's taken into consideration. But while you're talking there, just sort of mulling over the different issues that Leicester face right now, and they're multiple, aren't they? You know, both sort of psychologically and tactically, as well as physically, with the demand of the games coming up. But you know, you have to say, if you contrast the top of the pitch between the two teams today, I know different formations. We spoke about the two centre forwards, attacking players, weren't calling out-and-out strikers for Blackburn today. In comparison to the potency that Leicester possessed, that number 9 spot is an issue. Because he's tried 3 variations now at different times. None of them seem to be coming off, and none of those players are really sort of hitting any sort of form, finding any sort of rhythm, and that's having a big effect on the rest of the team's play in terms of how they build up in phases, etc. That's why today everything was pretty much down the right side if it was going to be beneficial, and you know that needs to change. Something needs to change, whether it's putting 2 up top or whatever, or improvement in the standards of whatever individuals there. But that is becoming a bigger and bigger issue, I have to say.
Thank you very much, Matt. That game on Tuesday, you can follow with us, of course, as ever, on Fox's Hub. It's a big one, as we've been discussing now, against Middlesbrough. The support here, I'm sure, at home will be fantastic, as it was today. I know there was disappointment at the end. Hopefully they can come with some renewed vigour on Tuesday for that game with Borough. We'll be live from 7:15 anyway with our Matchday Live show. There'll be game passes available. You can get international monthly ones now for £25 a month. There are also Listen Live monthly passes. Perfect time now at the start of the month to purchase those as we move into the winter months. Thank you to Matt, the birthday boy, for his commentary today and being with us. Thank you to David Nugent, to Jerry Taggart. Good luck at Anstey today, Nuge, if you get there in time. Thanks to Jerry as ever. We'll see you on Tuesday. I'll see you when I see you, Nuge. Thank you everyone that has joined us today. Unfortunately, obviously, it has ended in defeat. Hopefully things can turn around in a couple of days. We'll see you then. Goodbye.